afternoon, ladies.
Good afternoon.
What's your name?
My name is Yvonne
Yvonne what?
McCoy.
McCoy. And who's this beautiful woman standing next to you?
I'm Karen McCoy, her sister.
All right. And I would like to ask you about what you're wearing and how the things that you wear connect you with the earth and your spiritual connection basically to the earth.
Well, the moccasins I'm wearing are used for me to walk on as far as going barefoot, like from way back. And my shirt is just part of Cherokee. And I have on some necklaces that are, and some jewelry.
And so how is this important to you to wear these objects? How does that connect you to your heritage and to the earth?
Well, the turquoise stones are kind of like medicinal. And it connects me to the earth because the stones come from the earth.
So when you're wearing them, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel wonderful. It's healing to me to wear the turquoise and the gemstones.
And so how did you come to know that these things would affect you in that way? Was this something you stumbled upon? Is this part of your family heritage?
Well, just from reading certain books and talking with other friends of mine, they're, very familiar with that.
Okay, and so you mentioned being barefoot before. Imagine yourself when you were a child and you were out walking on the grass or in the earth. What kind of connection to the earth did that bring you? Even as a child, you kind of sensed these.
Well, as a child, I could walk barefoot because there wasn't any glass. It was maybe rocks and things like that, but they didn't affect my feet. But as I grew older, you had to wear shoes because the ground was so polluted with so much dirt and trash and everything. So I couldn't feel protected, my feet, from being cut by.
And so did you sense that when you started having to cover your feet, do you have any kind of little nuances and things that maybe you noticed that changed with your feet not being directly connected to the earth?
Well, yes, I have.
And can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Right now, no, I can't elaborate on it because I'm kind of like camera shy and.
Oh, don't be. Just look at me. You're talking to friends, and
yeah.
What we're asking is because here's your sister here, and as children, I'm sure you played outside together, and you. What were some of the things maybe that you noticed as children that you shared with each other, or things that you liked to do that now as an adult you can look back and say, wow, this is really, my spirit calling me to the earth?
Well, I always remember rolling around in the grass as a child and just running around in our front yard and backyard and smelling the flowers and the trees and the fruit trees. We had blackberries, pear trees, cherry trees, peach trees, all types of, for the city, we had a lot of that back in the 50s and the 60s, and I'm getting ready to tell my age in a minute.
Okay.
But,
and so, how about you? How did that affect you in your growing up? What kinds of things can you share with us that for your spiritual and your traditional and ethnic groups, how do you feel that your environment growing up impacted you now?
My environment, like when you said we were younger, I used to see, rabbits roaming around and turtles. We had turtles when we first moved over to where we live at. It was these gigantic turtles.
Actually, it was a big turtle that was in our backyard, and the snails were back there. My father had to call the zoo to come get the turtle and take it to the zoo because it was roaming around. I mean, I guess it was a tortoise, I don't know, but it was that huge.
And do you remember maybe your mother or grandparents or someone talking to you about the earth and and planting and having a garden, or the connection to the river? And as you said, you had a big backyard that was abundant at that time with all of the things. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, we lived so close to the what is called Anacostia River. We come from that area of the city, and it was just wonderful to see the river flowing, you know, and it was clean during that time. So now the environment has gotten so dirty, they went back to cleaning it up. I think it's Project Cleanup or something.
They're trying to get it together now.
Rejuvenate the water or whatever, you know, so. And it's a good feeling now to know that it's coming together. They're trying to get the pollution away from us and all that.
And so what would your advice to young people and people that live near the river in the Anacostia area, what would you say to them about the importance of this cleanup and this reconnection?
Not to litter. Not to litter. Because it's ugly and it's unhealthy, and it's just not right to just throw trash all over the earth. It's not right.
Well, thank you, ladies. Is there anything you would like to add?
No, the water, the river, Anacostia River. We used to go down to the river and sit by the river bank, and it really used to calm us, you know, calm us down when we go. And exactly where we lived, we could see airplanes when we were little flying across, and I used to be afraid of them. But yeah, my mother would get us ready for bed, and then we would go sit out on our porch or in the backyard and just, you know, relax. Back then we could have a teepee in the yard, but now it's gotten so polluted and everything around in the area. The flowers are disappearing. Everything is kind of like disappearing. Yeah, so, but hopefully someday we'll get it back.
Thank you.
Thank you.